is Sidnie with the Kaya, and we are back with a brand new episode of Bridging the Gap. It has been a minute. We are so glad to be here at the Real Cafe, hanging out with the Bumpin Uglies, who are on tour with Article Sound System. We're in beautiful downtown Wilmington. The weather is great. I feel like we always get rained out every single time, so we got lucky today. So we're going to be on the rooftop. How excited are you for today?
I'm stoked. It's just about sold out. It's gonna be a ripper. We've never gotten to play on the roof here because it's always been raining. But I'm excited to have just a good old-fashioned rock show here.
Oh, it's gonna go down. We might break through the ceiling right now if we rage hard enough.
It's gonna be sweaty as fuck for sure.
So tour so far has been, off with a bang. It's been selling out, and just like you said, we sold out here, so we had to move upstairs. How has it been, the reaction from the crowd, and just kind of that transition back into tour life? It's
crazy. It's been really intense and much bigger than it was when everything shut down. There was a lot of growth that happened for us over the last year, which is really cool because I kind of felt that was happening. But typically speaking, we would judge that with ticket sales. That's kind of how you judge it, and there was no ticket sales. Right. So it was kind of just me thinking well, it seems like things are getting better, but there's not really the touring to back it up.
We're fingers crossed, but I feel like everybody has just been, waiting. I know Wilmington loves when the Bumpin Uglies comes through, so you always know it's going to be a real wild night. So with that whole transition back into tour life, I know there's been a lot for you personally, family-wise, since I last spoke with you. You had another child, your family's growing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice probably to get that time to be at home and, see that. So how's it been? How's dad life?
It was incredible. That time that I got at home with my kids, at first with my son and now with the kids, both of them, it was just it was incredible. I always joke about babies, you know what I mean? People ask me how my daughter is. I'm like, she's an alien. They're
she stares at me a lot,
Yeah, my wife doesn't agree with me, but I think that children are essentially aliens for the first 12 to 14 or 15 months because all they do is they eat, shit, and sleep.
Yeah.
So they don't really give you much back. You love them, but and then it's right around that. At least with Augie, it's right around that 15-month mark where they really start to develop a personality and turn into a human. And they're always a human being.
Yeah.
They turn into they're whoa, and they start to
so now this mini person with thoughts and feelings. And
so that whole that period, I would have been on tour with the Expendables when that happened, and it's right at the start of COVID. I came home and I caught the whole thing when he turned from a baby into a toddler, and it happened over the course of a couple weeks. It was an awakening kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was one of the coolest things in my life. And I'm really glad I got to see it, and yeah, it was, as awful as it was, kind of having my entire livelihood and world ripped away from me. It's I got some really great, irreplaceable time with my family that was nice. It was great. I'm really happy for it.
Life is that's what's the most important, is those experiences and those memories. You get to share them on stage, but now you get to share them with your children, which is so sick. I know there's a lot of musicians that go out on the road with families back at home. Would you say you have any advice you could give to other new musicians who might be new parents, trying to juggle being back on the road and not? Have you learned any life lessons here?
You just got to carve out, with relationships, you got to carve out time for them and just let them know that you're thinking about them and that they're appreciated. That's very important. I know my wife appreciates that when I do that. And then with the kids, it's I'm still figuring it out, but I try to FaceTime them once a day.
I know, that's so great that we get to be able to have that, opportunity, to just pick up the phone and get to see them,
Yeah.
Talking over the phone is great, but, especially when they're young too, you just want to be able to make that connection through.
One, explaining to him that daddy's at work, and I'm a firm believer of it's definitely hard being away from him because if it's hard for me, it's hard for him, it's hard for everybody. But it's at the same time, it's I don't think that being a mother or a father is a defining characteristic. For some people it is, but for me it's it's one part of who I am, and then this is a big part of who I am as well. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be right in my head or in my heart if I didn't have this. So it's important for me to go out and do this, and I think it's important for him to learn that, see that.
It's a strong role model, yeah.
Yeah.
You bust your ass, dude, all.
I like to think that he's gonna see that and understand that, and then I kind of try to instill in him that you can do whatever you want, man. If you're gonna work at it, you didn't just like figure out what you're gonna do, and don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. Just you got to be willing to go out and do it. You know? That's essentially what I'm trying to do.
And you guys have like the coolest, most musical household, you know. I feel like there's always some songs being played.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like when he gets, like he already is like really into music, like he enjoys music, but like as he gets older and he has like more of a curiosity into like messing around with stuff, it's like we'll have like, you know, we'll have a drum kit there, we have a bass, guitar, like any instrument you want to play, he can mess around with.
Right, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and it's just like really ingraining that in him is going to be cool at an early age, if he wants it. You know?
Right, yeah, you know, it's definitely fun at the very least to just mess around, let loose, you know, play some music.
Yeah.
So music is something that you were always working on and you were always writing. Do you feel like you could even put a number on how many songs you've probably actually written?
No,
I doubt like that's an insane number, at least even from this past year.
It's somewhere between 200 and 300 probably, I'd say, at this point.
True cowboy right there. So recently, the thing that we've been able to you know, enjoy from the Bumpin Uglies is the Never Ending Drop, you know, a song a month. How did that sort of come to fruition? You know, when did you guys sort of decide to do that, and you know, how did it get going?
Well, we were just sitting at home and we didn't have anything going on, and I had all these like ideas for songs, and I kind of just like, I wanted to make the most out of the time. You know, I really wanted to come out of quarantine with a record, so like I booked us a week at the Passive Farm because like we didn't have, you know, we didn't have a space at the time to like practice or record or whatever.
Right.
But since then, I've actually, my wife and I, we bought a new house, and I got a little studio in the basement, so I'll be able to, in the future, I learned a lot from that experience where it's like I want to be able to record at my own house. But yeah, I booked a week there and we went and stayed there, and I sent the boys all the ideas I had, and we worked on arranging the songs, and then just from there, like, you know, I finished writing lyrics to stuff and recorded it, and then
the pieces were just
yeah, I just really, it was like, we don't have touring and we're never gonna have this much time to be like creative again, so we might as well just get in the studio and see what we can do. And we ended up doing like 18 songs. So.
Yeah, you really made the most of it.
Yeah, it was cool for sure.
Yeah, the train never stops. You know, you got to keep it moving. That's the most positive, like, you know, thing I've been trying to go with. You know, despite all the hardships, you just gotta get that one day, one foot in front of the other, you know?
Yeah.
So you've been able to play some of these newer songs live recently, and how has the response been to the new stuff? Do you got like a favorite song that you've had to play, like, from your perspective?
It's been great. I mean, I really like playing roles we play just because it's like I like the rock and stuff. Two Stone has been crushing it, doing it with Logan every night. People have been
pretty.
Really,
it is so pretty. Those harmonies, I swear.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like that's kind of like when that one like lived in my head before we started working. I had like I had kind of like a plan for how I wanted it to be, and an idea. It's just like you know, I thought it was going to be a certain way, but you know, you don't get to see it till you get out on the road, and it's really kind of what I was hoping for. It's this like pretty moment in the set. And,
it just feels like you're like floating on a cloud, you know,
yeah.
just like you with the guitar. It's awesome, and the music video was great too.
Thanks.
Yeah, where did you shoot that at?
Somewhere in Florida, I forget where.
Right on.
I think it was like right outside of West Palm.
Yeah, they got some pretty areas over there.
Yeah, shout out to Chance the Shooter for killing that. And,
yeah, that video was so good, dude. Oh man.
But yeah, and then Cali Sober's been going over really well live too, which is cool.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's like so like a fun sing along, you know, sort of song, and everyone can kind of relate to it in some way, you know, depending on what they, you know, their lifestyle. I want to shout out the fan page because there might be some people, you know, who aren't, you know, Facebook is where it's at. That's where you always are. You're always doing streams.
Yeah.
You know, you're always playing music. So the people that, you know, think they can't get enough of Bumpin Uglies or Brandon Hardesty, we have a place for them. So shout it out.
Yeah, shout out Uglies Nation on Facebook. That's like our little community that we're building there. One day we're gonna buy an island and everyone's gonna move there.
We're getting close. Look,
Yeah.
We just need a couple more of you. Come on.
I do a weekly stream on when I can. Like when I'm on the road, it doesn't really happen. But when I'm home, I do a stream on Tuesdays-ish. Sometimes it's Mondays, sometimes it's Wednesday. But that'll be on like Facebook and YouTube. And it's cool. But yeah, Uglies Nation on Facebook. Check it out.
Heck yeah, you better go ahead because you don't want to miss a thing. And there's a great community of people. Everybody is just so tight-knit, you know, on there. And there's always some funny memes. And so, you know, all of your needs, I feel like, are met on the
got dank memes in Uglies Nation. All the dank memes.
So what is next for the Bumpin Uglies? What can the people look forward to? You know, this is just the beginning. Where are we at? Where are we going?
Well, more music. I mean, the never-ending drop is concluded, but
It's never ending.
we're
It's, you know.
we're already like working on more music, and there's more music that's already finished, and it's just gonna keep. I mean, like all I do is write and record music, so it's like the plan is just to keep writing and recording and releasing music and touring our faces
Keep rocking
off
and rolling, playing the music you want to play, you know?
Yeah, just keep climbing, playing bigger venues, and just keep doing this thing. I'm honestly like I'm very happy with where I'm at in life right now, and feels like a decade of hard work is kind of starting to pay off dividends. So it's like
it's been so great, the progression, you know, over that.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time for me and us in general. So it's you know, I just all I want to do is turn the dial up and keep it going and keep growing and keep just doing cool shit.
And we can't wait. We're going to be there every step of the way, man. I love getting to see you, and I love getting to have you here. What's the best ways that fans can support the band, like, directly? What are the ways that, you know, you would recommend?
Buying merch is huge.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing. And then just buying tickets to shows and telling your friends about the band. It's like this whole thing for us is like, it's grassroots. Like that's where its foundation is at. And like, you know, as it's gotten better, we've started making more money. We've had money to put into marketing, which has helped a lot, but still like at its core, it's a grassroots kind of following. So like I really would encourage you, if you like the band, like just tell your friends, you know, make them a playlist or send them a video, or just tell people that you think would be into it, and then bring them to a show, buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, tag them on Facebook, tag them on Instagram, because you're on all of them. They can find you everywhere. Bumpin Uglies music, right?
Yup.
Heck yeah. Better go hit the follow button. It is always nice to get to Bump Uggs in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I'm glad that you brought Article Sound System. I'm so excited. It's the first time I'll get to see them live.
They're fucking great.
Beyond stoked.
I feel like it's been embarrassing to them, but I keep saying on the mic, I'm like, this band's gonna be famous in 3 years, so like take it in now, like while you can see them in this small venue, because they're gonna blow the fuck up. Like they have all the recipes for success in that band, and it's really cool. And like the coolest thing is like they're all like very humble and like have good attitudes and just like are just trying to be out there doing it. You know what I mean? Like I see them doing like what we were doing like fucking 5-6 years ago, but they have like a way better team behind them. So it's just everything's gonna click like way quicker for them.
Yeah, when you've got that right group of people, you know, the music flows and that's it. The story tells itself.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool that, you know, Florida and Maryland have come together, you know.
I keep saying it, man. It's like, it's, you know, like this whole thing originated out of California, like this whole scene, but like the East Coast has really got some cool shit going on.
Absolutely. And all the way from the top to the bottom, there's some great bands around here.
Well, this whole tour we did, like there's great bands, but there's also like great venues that are putting on like cool shows. Like this whole tour, like we did, like we started off in New Hampshire at this beach bar that was like rad as fuck, and then like we did this other one in New Jersey that was super cool. And it's like, the thing is that like in the summertime, people don't want to go to rock clubs. They want to go to like tiki bars and like cool shit on the beach and like listen to that kind of thing. So it's like, you know, you can have the bands doing whatever you want, but unless there's venues that put on those types of shows, it's like, it's not, you know, for the style of music we're doing, it's, you gotta, like that vibe like really helps just the overall thing. So like having venues up and down the coast do that kind of shit is like really helpful for the whole scene in general. So like you know, we're doing Myrtle Beach at the Boathouse tomorrow, which is another one of those. It's like right on a river. It's this cool little thing. Like, I don't know, it's just cool. Yeah,
everything about like the ambiance and, you know, the energy. I mean, you guys are magnetic anyway. I feel like you guys are so honed in now that it's really amazing to get you see every time, you know, you come into town. I'll be here.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I'm really excited for the show tonight. Go ahead and make sure you follow Bumpin Uglies music on all the socials. We'll put them in the description below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have plenty more interviews, because we're back too, baby. We're ready to go. But thank you so much. Kai fam. We out. Love you.